native, so he didn't want to mess up because he knew Native American nations and how things are, that he could really have himself some heat. So first thing he asked me, he said, Chris, we want you to look for a true native name. So I was the one who searched all the names and brought the names to him. And I was the one that gave him Tatanka. I said, this is probably going to be the best native. And he said, I love it, let's go with it. So with me, with some guys he's not that way, but with me, he was always asking me, is this right to do? Matter of fact, when I first came in, I had the long white pants on. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah. Chief J. Strongbow came to him and said, listen, he's really Native American. You don't see natives with white pants. They wear loincloths. That's what I was doing before I came to Vince. So Vince said, well, let's change it. I don't want to offend your race. So with me, he was always perfect, but some of the other guys a little bit different. You know?
Yeah, we were debating, like, R-Truth probably will never get the WWE title, but maybe World or something.
Oh, you're talking about as far as being where you need to be? Is that what you're talking about with titles and stuff like that?
Well, that's for him, but for my angle was more or less.
Well, let me tell you something about that, too. Undertaker, how many times have you seen him hold the title for long periods of time?
Not really. He doesn't really need it, though.
There you go. Just so you know the truth about it, that if you're already over and Vince is already being able to market you, there's no reason to have a belt. A belt is for someone that can't get to where they need to be, and they get that belt to get them over the top. Yeah. It's just a tool. Boom.
Because, I mean, even Shawn had the title, like, what, 4 times?
Oh, yeah, correct. So if you're already making money and you're already popular, Vince don't need to give you the title. And he loves that. He loves when you can just raw talent, that you can be over and he can do what he needs to do for you, and you can actually not have to have a title and still make tons of money with it. But yeah, some of the minorities, have they got a fair share as far as title shots? No.
I was there when Mexico debuted, and I kind of face-palmed myself when they came down in lawnmowers. Yeah. Like, oh, man, how am I going to explain this when I get home? But I was at the Raw when that happened.
Back in the day, it's not that much now, but in the 80s and 90s, the diplomacy behind the scenes, it is too now. But as far as things, people trying to push other people out, it happens a lot.
Yeah, it's business across the board.
But that's business in America. Yeah, I don't care where you are, IBM, Microsoft, whoever you got to watch out for people trying to push you out of your position.
True.
You know, but here it's pretty. At times it can be pretty deep.
True. Are you going to come back anytime soon?
I'm ready. As you know, I'm wrestling all over. I'm on good terms with WWE. I speak to them pretty regularly. I talk to them all the time. Matter of fact, my name's been popping up a lot about Hall of Fame. I don't know. I'm not saying that's what I'm doing or what's happening, but it's been popping up a lot. I speak to the office pretty regularly. Matter of fact, we work together a lot on other events that I do too.
Nice.
Some charity events. They send me thousands of dollars worth of product, to give away free at some of the events that I do.
Kind of charitable causes you do?
We've done stuff, a lot of different groups. I mean, tons of groups. We also, in Florida, we have work that we fed 1,900 people for free in our city about a month and a half ago. It was so big, hit the front cover of the newspaper, actually giving boxes of foods away. I mean, huge. Chicken, steak, baked potatoes, 1,900 people. So we do a lot of work. We have a free clothing store, quality clothes. So we do a lot of different charity stuff, when I am at home. I mean, when I leave here, I'm going to Germany, then I'm going to Switzerland, so I'm still on the road. I'm very, very active.
That's awesome.
So cool, man.
What about TNA? You gonna go to TNA?
Well, I went there for that one.
I remember that. Yeah.
It's.
They need your help.
Of course.
They're hurting.
They are hurting. Believe me, I know a lot more because. Let me tell you this: there's definitely change coming in the wrestling world. What I mean by that is there needs to be another company that is serious about doing something, not wanting to play around, not everyone just being in the bag. And I'll say it to all of them, I don't care who it is, from the Hulk Hogan all the way there, not just being there, but actually doing more than just being there, meaning getting involved, rolling up your sleeves, doing something. They're not doing anything. They're not trying to be competitive at all. Believe me, their TV ratings on TV, they say they're doing a 1, but they're doing less than that because I'm around heavy TV people, and they're probably doing about a 0.7, a 0.6 on the TV rating. I speak to Kevin Sullivan all the time. Kevin Sullivan, I laughed at him. He said, Chris, I could put a cat on TV taking a shit and do better than a 0.7. And he knows what he's talking about because he was there for WCW. Yeah. He's the one doing all the writing, Right. So it's just they're not rolling up their sleeves and doing anything. And they're here, they're on Spike TV, a national network. They could really do something serious, but they're not doing anything. And they're kind of like just following behind the guidelines, following what what Vince and those guys are doing. They need to go to a total different niche and just start working, but they're not. And I don't think you're going to see change here. You know, I've already been there, and I just see how it is behind the scenes, and it's just not there, that competitiveness to do better, which is a shame. You know, and you got all that talent there.
Well,
that's a shame. That's I'll stand right here and tell them that's all you can do. All you guys, all that talent, that's all you can do. Really?
Yeah.
Like the Miz. Really? 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 I mean, it's like, man. I mean, they should be doing way better than a
Hogan
.7.
had a recent quote where he said he doesn't even know what his job is there. He doesn't know what Bischoff does. He doesn't know what he does.
But there you go.
Nobody at the top knows what they're doing.
Hello, ain't that? There you go.
Dixie isn't even a wrestling person. So.
But listen to that. Here's a company that's on TV and they don't even know what they're doing.
They thought Vince Russo was their savior.
Yep.
Yeah.
They need writers.
Yeah, they need writers, and that's what's wrong with see, our storylines in our day were so believable because they were real storylines. When the IRS ripped up my headdress, people were ringside. They were literally, there's a picture, he's got it here. Everyone's standing, first of all. Yeah. They're not sitting down. People sitting down all the time now. Even when people come out of WWE, when there's issues or angles being set, no one's standing up and getting involved. IRS, man, when he ripped up my headdress, not only were people standing, but people were crying all around ringside. Yeah. It was believable. And when they hit IRS's music, it was unbelievable. Boo after that. When they hit my music, it was unbelievable. Yeah. I hardly had to do anything with him in the ring. I just had to grab his tie and just start dancing. You know, and the place was going, but it was believable storylines. Right. You tear up a native sacred headdress, you're in trouble. You know, in the real world, they're gonna kill you. Yeah. I hang out with all those kind of natives. I hang out with the Samoans. I hang out with the Lakotas. So it was believable storylines. The storylines today, not believable.
How does one break into writing in the wrestling industry?
We'll do it free.
Well, right now, you know, I mean, the people that they're getting, like WWE, they're coming from Hollywood movie scenes, and that's the problem. All the great writers who were before, Pat Patterson with The Rock, he was a wrestler. You know, in my era, it was just Pat Patterson. It was, of course, Chief Jay Strongbow, and you had Vince. All three of them, but they were all Pat Patterson and Chief Jay Strongbow, both wrestlers. Right. That's the big difference. You got people writing storylines that are not wrestlers, not involved. Like you said, Dixie, not involved in the wrestling business. Finn was involved in the energy business. So it's a total different thing.
It's like a pet project for them. Yeah. It's a tax write-off.
Yeah, of course. There you go. And that's exactly what they're doing. You can just show it as a loss over here and actually make more money because you're showing it as a loss. So, believe me, I know more than what I can say. There's change coming.
That's awesome.
No. Believe me, I know what I'm saying. There's change coming.
Great.
Just you can sign that in blood.
It's good to hear.
Oh, definitely. Because
a few bright spots.
Let me put it this way: how can there be one Coca-Cola? How can there be one drink in the whole world? How can there be one gas station in the whole world? Right. It's impossible for WWE to gain the whole market share. That's the problem in the industry because in the 90s, we were consistently doing a 6.0 on the Nielsen scale. Meaning our TV ratings were double of what they are now. Right. And the company's actually bigger, but double.
You guys are probably doing bigger Superstars ratings.
Yeah, at the end of the 90s, we were doing a 10. Triple of what Vince is doing now. That's the problem. There's no one in the industry to drive the market share up. When WCW was in business, and Vince, and ECW, all the companies were earning tons of money. The market share was being driven up because there was competition. There's no competition. Right? Vince is really good when there's competition. Remember when he was knocked down, WCW beat him, Kevin Sullivan beat him. Well. Yes. Kevin Sullivan beat him for 96 weeks straight. When he got knocked down, he came back and he came back strong. That's when he broke the record because he drove the market share up, you know? So there needs to be someone else in the industry because you can't gain the whole market share.